Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so last time we were going through a little bit of story stuff, but I asked the thread which way we should go, and y'all wanted to see some assassin tombs. So, for this episode, and the next one, that's what we're going to be tackling. And we're just stopping by here to switch out our main sword for something, and I'll show it off in a moment. And also just stocking up on some of the various accoutrements we'll be meeting for, well, killing guys. Okay, so first off, the sword I bought. Nothing too fancy. And also, this just popped in here. And there's something else I've been doing off, well, away from where y'all can see. So this is the armor I have on right now. And we're going to be upgrading to the second best set. I think it's the Misaglias. I can't forget, I had it written down. But I'll correct it in the post if I'm incorrect. Basically, where we are right now, we can't get the pauldron for it. We can't get it until the end of this memory sequence, I think. But by the time we tackle the tombs in the next couple episodes, we will have Al's outfit. Oh yeah, putting some codexes up here, and one of these in particular is kind of relevant to one of the tombs we're going to, and I'll point it out. Okay, pay attention to this one. Yep, Genghis Khan.
Come, let's see how well you fight.
Okay, now what I had covered up previously was pistol, and its special attack. I was kind of screwing around here, but basically you just point the gun at the guy, hold it, and in practice he'll just get scared and run away. Because somehow they know what a gun looks like, I guess. There's that dog. But I'm just firing for the hell of it, really. But that is that. Thank you. And we're done with here, and... well, actually not quite. Yeah, we've done all these. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
always welcome here, Ezio. Come back anytime.
And there's something else I've been doing off camera, and that is collecting feathers. We're about halfway, so let's turn them in.
I've seen you bringing Maria the feathers. I appreciate what you're trying to do for her, but you have to face facts. It's not working. Maybe you should focus on more important things. I've had a new weapon made for you at the blacksmith's. You can go pick it up whenever you want. I'm sorry, Ezio.
And we'll be saving that fancy little warhammer for the near future. Okay, now that's handled. I think a little bit of a wardrobe change is in order. Now first off, no new pouches. I think there's still a knife one left, I forget. Now we have Azure and we have Teal. They look kind of similar. So let me see here. Let's go with Azure. I'll show it off in a better light source. Kind of shady here. Ah, here we go. And it looks okay. Kind of subdued in color compared to what I was expecting, but it'll do. And our first stop. Got a fast travel. Almost. There you go. And we're heading over to San Gimignano. And our first tomb is here. And it's right here, right in the center of town. I'll just jump cut over. So I'm going to start talking about who this tomb is for, given the time constraint we got going here. First off, I'll let these cinematics run through. Restricted area, so that means we're going to have some guys to kill. Okay, so while I'm walking around solving this place, this tomb is for a guy named Wei Yu. And in the Assassin's Creed world, he's the guy who killed Qin Shi Huang, who is also known as King Ying Zheng, in 210 BC, following the Chinese Warring States period. Thing is, the assassin, once again, is fictional. So rather than covering him in detail, which would be impossible, let's talk a little bit about his target. Now, to really lay the groundwork, we gotta wind back to 1046 BC. Yeah, we're kind of going way back. But more on that in a moment. And the camera shows us more or less where to go. There are a few hidden chests here, but I'm just not going to bother with them. We don't need the money and effort. And also, we have a bit of a rare opportunity here. Time for some sneaky stuff.
That one looks familiar.
Assassin's Creed equivalent of knocking on the wall, I guess.
There! I want him caught now!
And one more.
Dannato. The capo will be angry. Another one dead in our distretto.
Such a shame. Okay, so basically, the Zhou dynasty was founded at this point in 1046 BC, and it made a habit of divvying up its lands into fiefdoms. After 300 years of this, the Zhou Emperor basically spread himself too thin and had too many vassals. The emperor was essentially ignored while the vassals and states butted heads to try and gain power. Now, in this case, we're talking about 150 vassal states with no real government in play bossing them around. This began an era known as the Spring and Autumn period, which lasted for 300 years and consisted of a few states in particular eventually becoming top dogs: the Qin, the Jin, the Qi, and Chu. After a few more centuries, in 221 BC, Qin was all that was standing. Back at square one, China was reunified, and that began the Qin dynasty. This was headed up by the targeted fella, Qin Shi Huang. Now, the reasons for assassinating this guy are pretty endless. He unified China and was responsible for bringing in... Damn it. Jerk. Anyhow, when he assumed rule, he began a 2,000-year-long stretch of time where the imperial rule would go unchallenged completely. Hello, hidden chest. And goodbye. He also built an early version of the Great Wall, burned countless books. Oh, cinematic. Where are we going now? Well, let's be a little sneaky.
Eccolo!
Well, that didn't go too well. The beta's been set.
What's going on in this damn district?
That hood.
Eccolo!
All according to plan.
With flames and a little lamp. Don't you? He's there, on him!
Anyhow, he went about burning tons and tons of books, and the scholars who wrote these, they were buried alive. He also made an extensive network of roads, which sounds pretty awesome, but in the process, he basically ended up working thousands of people to death. So as a result, several attempts were made on his life, to put it lightly. Let's go over just a few of them. One in particular was actually pretty damn cool, although it kind of sounded a little otherworldly, I guess. In 230 BC, Qin had defeated the Han state, and a Han aristocrat named Zhang Liang was pretty hell-bent on killing Huang. So he sold all of his valuables and just hired an absolute monster of an assassin. This guy was supposed to ambush the Emperor's carriage and kill him. How? Well, we'll get back to that in a moment. For now, I have a test of wits against this guy up here.
Just a moment of your time. Hold on, I have a question for you.
Gun doesn't work. And there's a dog in here. He's throwing rocks at me. That's not very polite. Okay. What? Well, this is just sad. Exercise in futility. Anyhow, the assassin. His method of killing this guy was by getting a 160-pound or 97-kilogram metallic cone, and he was going to throw it at the carriage. Yeah, his approach for killing him was getting something very heavy and throwing it at the Emperor's carriage and hoping to kill him. Well, he threw it at the carriage and he destroyed it, but the thing is, he threw it the wrong carriage.
Where do you think you're going? Eccolo, hurry!
But hey, he got away, so no big deal. And there are... Oh, gun, come on. There are a couple other attempts, but gauging by what I have left in time right now... let me see here. Might have to put him in the post. Let's see how much I can get away with, though. First off, I suppose in the time I have left, I can at least cover how he eventually died. So how did King Zheng eventually bite the bullet? Well, funny story, but this guy had a crazy obsession with immortality. I mean, he wanted to live forever and ever. In 211 BC, a meteor smacked right into China, and someone near where it landed decided to scratch some graffiti into it. The graffiti said the first emperor will die, and his land will be divided, like some sort of mock prophecy from the heavens. Uh-oh. Hey, guy.
There he is!
Welp. Whatever. Anyhow, the Emperor didn't take too well to this graffiti being scratched in the meteor, and he ordered for the person responsible to be brought forward. No one stepped up, so he just decided to do the sensible thing and have everybody in the entire region killed. He then went into panic mode, though, and he got really desperate for immortality, but more on that in a moment. This part right here. This is kinda different. Where I'm at right now, I've got a banner in the way providing cover. And if you don't time it right, you'll climb up. One of these guys will see you, shoot at you, and kill you. Plus the fixed camera makes it pretty clumsy. But I get lucky here.
I cannot see. There! On him! Hey, let go!
Adios! And I apologize for any background noise. Some asshole in some dually exhaust truck is roaring by outside. People have no manners in this town. Anyhow, he wiped out the entire village, and he kind of stayed in crazy panic mode, and he started doing really desperate things for immortality at that point, thinking that it was going to come true and he's going to get killed. So he ended up dying a year later, actually. Why? Well, one of the amazing cure-alls that the doctors he had in his employ suggested was mercury pills. Yep, good old Quicksilver. So he took a shit ton of mercury pills and ended up dying of mercury poisoning. And it's just... I just find it kind of funny. He was so desperate for immortality that one of the things he latched onto was hands down the thing that did him in. Ah, fun times. But we are almost done with this place. And as I mentioned, there are a few other assassination attempts, and I will probably put them inside the update post because they're kind of funny, I think. They're both kind of connected due to someone involved in the background. But it's just kind of a case of something going wrong at the worst time imaginable, and then leading to the plan falling apart completely. But enough of that. Got our seal. I think the years have been pretty kind to him. Looking good. And just for the hell of it, it'd be kind of rude if we came up here and didn't rob his tomb. I think we at least owe that to him. So, let me see here. Looking at my notes and knowing what we have left, earlier, I made mention of that codex entry. Well, we are going to be heading to a tomb for someone named Kulan Gal. And contrary to the achievement's name, I cannot see our house from here. Completely misleading. But yep, here we are. Top of the world, and done with this place. Anyhow, the assassin we're heading to next, Kulan Gal, is fictional, but there's a little tie-in here into what you'd call the series' canonical backstory. Some book was made recently, and it's called Assassin's Creed: The Secret Crusade. I didn't scour it in detail because I think it was supposed to I think it was written with some subtle nods made toward Brotherhood. It was supposed to lead in to Revelations. But it's worth a look if you're up for that sort of thing. I'll put a link in the update post. Anyhow, in our backstory, Kulan Gal and Altair's son, Darim, were both responsible for killing Genghis Khan. Now, Genghis Khan ruled the Mongolian Empire in its heyday, but he had to climb his way to the top to assume that role. He was born under the name of Temujin, possibly from a lineage of blacksmiths. Lots of his early information conflicts between various sources, so not everything is definite. Now, around this time, the Central Asian Plateau, north of China, was divided into tribes. You had the Naimans, the Merkits, the Tatars, the Kamag Mongols, and the Karaites. Temujin pledged himself as a vassal to Wang Khan of the Karaites, who happened to be his father's sworn blood brother. After proving his loyalty, Temujin was given 200,000 men. In order to solidify the men beneath him and make them loyal, Temujin broke away from several laws and taboos. Family lineage to him did not matter. Don't matter no more, not one bit. Loyalty, however, would be rewarded far more so than somebody who was just lucky and came from a proper bloodline. Also, he divided his spoils of war among the citizens and soldiers that supported him. More on that in a moment. A little bit of deja vu. Uh-oh, restricted. We got bad guys. And it's another sewer level. Anyhow, the people he conquered, they were usually assimilated. Even orphans, though, were taken care of. Part of why people rallied under him was because his approach wasn't as scorched earth as most other tribes. And other unification attempts in the past didn't try to go into assimilation, and that would lead to an issue among one of his later opponents, who was just basically a confederation of a bunch of different groups, and they were all holding on to their own separate ways and didn't maintain a true loyalty. Now, this faithfulness rewarded people, but the thing is, he still had a number of people who betrayed him in the years to come. As I was mentioning just a moment ago, he had a childhood friend and a blood brother named Jamuka, and he was the Khan of the final rival tribe that he had to fight when he was taking them over in the area. Also, Wang Khan, who allowed him to serve as a vassal, also betrayed him. He was uneasy about how powerful Temujin had become within just a few years and planned an assassination with Jamuka. Funny thing is, he was traveling after meeting with Jamuka and was caught by Naiman Mongols by accident. And to expand on this fluke accident, the Naiman Mongols were part of Jamuka's confederation, the non-assimilated. And the thing is, you could kind of see this as a funny case of friendly fire, because he was leaving a secret meeting, and basically some of his goons and his confederation turned right around and attacked this guy on his way back. But the thing is, Wang Khan was a pretty huge weasel, considering that Temujin saved his life dozens of times. And before I continue, this room is funny. You look around thinking there's an obstacle or some way to climb something, but got a bit of a plot twist for you. That gate the far side? Just swim under it. Thanks, game. Anyhow, there was also a case of Temujin, or Genghis Khan's own son, trying to muscle him out of power. Also, he adhered to shamanism and had a number of shaman on hand. And one of them, in one case, tried to actually turn him against his own brother. But back to the main topic. After he united the tribes underneath him, he began the Mongol invasions. Even though he died a couple decades into his nearly 120-year-long stretch, by his death in 1227, the empire had absolutely exploded in size compared to what it was when he assumed full reign in 1206. At this point, you might think, hey, assimilating doesn't sound half bad, given what else was going on around. You had the other crazy warlords who just kill anybody. But suppose you were satisfied with your place, and you didn't want to join the Mongols. This is where things kind of got freaky. If your settlement resisted in any way to this assimilation, everyone would be corralled out and massacred. In the case of a soldier possibly getting weak-kneed about killing women and children, every soldier had a certain quota of people they had to execute, or else they would get penalized. On what grounds of penalty, I'm not sure. Hey guy, Unfortunately, that's like a 8-foot drop, so he's not gone. Well, let's make short work of this. Hey! Not cool. Not cool at all. Anyhow, regarding the quotas on the kill counts, there was actually one recorded case where in a force of 20,000 soldiers, each soldier had to require 24 people. Had to. But I could cover this for ages, but I'm running a little short on time and need to get down to the nitty-gritty. How did he die? Well, in 1227, while zipping around on the front, possibly in pursuit of someone, he fell off his horse and died. Why would a skilled rider fall off while going at full speed in this kind of setting is kind of a mystery, honestly. More on that in a moment. Gun. Your time to shine. Yes, sir. Dog! Where is it? Okay. Let me see here. Well, I'm going to be sneaky, but it's not going to go too well. Hey, guy. Anyways, why did he fall off his horse? Well, some folks say he was wounded. Some folks say that he was actually sick.
There!
More on that in a moment.
Your mother must have been an ugly whore!
What? Rude. Don't bring my mom into this. Jerk. Boy, I'm going all over the place here. Anyhow, some folks theorize that he might have had pneumonia and lacked the strength to hold on like normal. Others say that he was injured or something of the sort, and that led to him falling off. And very tricky wall jump. Jump cut. It's a weird angle. Now, his death kind of ties into the game's lore, potentially. Because, you know, died by falling off a horse, potentially injured. Hey, it fits right in. But a couple of other ways tie into a regional conflict they were having against the Tanguts, who they were fighting at the time. Now, some Tangut records claim that Genghis Khan died in combat against them. Another? Well, he supposedly captured the Tangut princess and, well, he supposedly went to bed with her. And, this is where things get a little unsettling. In this case, she supposedly was hiding a very primitive set of pliers inside of, well, inside of her unmentionals department. And in that version of the story, yeah, he felt pressure in a way a man shouldn't have, and ended up dying from his wounds, or bleeding to death. Yeah. Some people say it was propaganda, but, you know, honestly, I wouldn't put it past people back in them days. But we have one last room here. Actually, no, we have another room. Back there. Okay. I think I can be sneaky. Yes. Come into my web, little fly. But, damn it! Why weren't you cooperating? Nope, can't open that door. Now, sneaky time. I was on a roll initially. Let's see if I can... Aha! Hey! Well, at least that worked. For a second there, it looked like he caught it. I don't want to deal with this. There we go. Another one. Alright, give me your sword. Mine. Stylish. Now, I want to carry this around with me. I don't notice it for a moment, but the last guy's actually on high ground, so we're not going to bit. Horse! And horse 2. What are you guys doing here? Well, have fun in jail, my friends, for I have places to be. And the place to be is not down here, but up there. Alright, goodbye, sword. Guess can't take it with us. Damn it all. You know, I'm feeling like a very generous, kind soul today. So, the guy in there, I'm not going to kill him. I'll just let him live. Almost. And we are in the final little chamber here. And it's a bit of a time trial. But it is not that bad at all. Pretty straightforward. Just hit the switch and climb in front of us. Time to spare. And that, as they say, is that. Okay. Go ahead and loot stuff. And there he is with his bow. Yeah, the Codex entry made mention of their children heading out after Genghis Khan. But there was just Darum who's mentioned in the actual little book from what I could suss out. It's kind of like a hot dog. And I think this here is our last one. Okay. And that is 4 out of 6. You know, it says prison escape, but I have another word for it. Sewer level. Or even coming out of a manhole. I stand by my name. Okay. So for now, we're kind of done here. Let me see. Well, let's go ahead and change out our colors right now. The alternative color, I think it was teal, we went with azure. They look way too similar, at least on that display. So let's grab one of the ones around here. Okay, we've seen steel. We haven't seen Ebony or Ivory. Ivory looks interesting, but you know what? Ebony in particular... Oh yeah, we've seen Auburn. Ebony in particular is really neat because it's got this red cape thing that looks really neat, I think.
Remember to visit me often. Fashion is a whimsical mistress.
Nice. But we're done for now. I'll see y'all next time for the final tombs.